then when I add this in too. So I've kind of found that interesting. All right, so just start warming up your shoulders. I'm gonna have you step on here too. Yep. Yeah, there you go. And I'm gonna have you just kind of warm up the shoulders, just kind of that basic move. Just kind of think about your shoulder blades pulling back against your spine. And then we're gonna work into a Jefferson Curl later. So I start with the upper back here, and basically what I want is I want the big extension here and then big flexion kind of with this rep. So big extension, big flexion, because in a golf swing, that's what we're doing. Basically, we're starting from flexion, we're going to extension, and we're going back to flexion. So like, if I can start teaching people that here, it's easier when I get to Jefferson Curl or when I get to like rotational hip stuff. So I just gotta go big and then small. And they kind of feel, depending on the person, they feel their chest differently, which is kind of fun. And then the arms, but also too, it's so fun because I get to actually have people use their arms in their golf swing.
Yeah.
They don't feel their arms in their golf swing. No. So the concept.
They're so long for the ride usually.
Exactly. And like for my women, it's hard because your chest, like you guys do. Were you bring them on top or bring them with you? Yeah. That literally.
But it was kind of like a.
No, it's like
thing you had
to figure out.
Exactly.
Right. Like I have one very large chest woman that is a good golfer, and like I learned that from a man who looks good with the Taylor, and I was at her wedding. Literally at her wedding, she was telling me this, like we were talking about it. So funny.
You know, like bros that we had, like teaching bros, were like, well, you need to, but didn't even know how to like address it.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. So I want you to think about, you're gonna squeeze the stomach in. I want you to round even more here at the here. So I'm gonna like kind of give you a little, and we're just gonna squeeze that a little bit more. And even don't feel like you have to like. I want your chin to even come down and kind of up that upper body position, kind of round, kind of like a yoga type position. A couple more just like this. Yeah. And so we start with the upper thoracic. So when I teach after one of the legs, one of the hips, then that lower back and that thoracic is kind of like you got to kind of go right back into it, which is nice. So with your golf swing, good. Where typically is your like weak spot? Like you're saying your hips, but like in your back, do you ever get tight in your back, low back?
Low back, shoulders always get stuck.
Yeah, they get stuck.
And they hurt for like a few days, and then I don't blocks.
Interesting.
Actually, I'm in the middle of a block right now.
Okay.
But my lower back used to hurt a lot though when I would play.
Left side or right side?
Kind of like throughout the whole part.
Yeah.
So I finished with that.
Real, and here's the thing, right? Estrogen and testosterone. So,
What do I need?
well, right, but a lot of overextension from you guys. Because you guys are such good at moving, but you guys overdo it. And then the problem, what I find with a lot of my females is this: is if their lower body's not engaged, core's not engaged, and they're in a good position. Usually, you guys are in a tremendous position, but you're not supporting it.
Yeah.
So the golf club can just beat the crap out of you if you're whacking a golf club against the ground and it's not supportive.
Yeah.
So shoulders get just junky and beat up.
Yeah.
And it's the freaking worst. So one more. Yep. Okay. So we're just gonna start doing some squats. Okay. I got to roll. How you doing? Be safe.
Hi. Safe flight.
This is recording the whole thing,
Oh,
so we can slice and dice it. But
Yeah.
All right.
I want to. The dialogue is great.
For sure.
Cool. All right. So just some
All right.
squats. We're gonna do. I just want some nice big deep squats.
Still on the.
Yep. So here's what I want you to feel. I just want you to feel balanced in your feet. You're going to be able to go down a little even lower than normal if you want to. You don't have to though, right? So all we're trying to do is kind of fatigue the quads a little bit more than the hamstrings. That's why the angle is, and you're going to get a little bit more.
Okay.
And I'm kind of trying to see what I kind of watch is like what your pelvis does. So I want to see what your pelvis is going to kind of naturally do, and then we kind of talk.
My lower back starts to go like this.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm trying to work on that in the squat.
Well, and I think this is such a good thing to work on, because what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you turn that glute on.
Okay.
So I'm going to really turn that glute on, and I want you to go down as far as you can without this movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in a golf swing,
Couple more. So good. And that, I think this lets you feel it a little bit
For
easier.
sure.
And when you're not doing this, you know, you're not getting as much feedback. So
No.
I think this is a really, really easy way, really good way to kind of get a
It's
little bit
like
more.
already activating, so when you're like squeeze that part, then you really feel it.
Well, and we've been taught that this flexion position in the lower back is so bad,
Right.
but it's only bad if you pick up heavy shit that way. It's fine if you rotate into extension that way for golf. It's what, which is so funny. But like you look at like Jack Nicklaus, you look at like a lot of the older golfers, they all start in a more rounded position.
Yeah.
They all go to full extension, and they all go. And here you watch any golfer even now at impact, right? They're going back into a flexion position.
Yeah.
So even though they start more neutral now, they still go into extension and then back to flexion.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how you hit a golf ball properly without in supporting the club.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta get those. So I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna show you how I do this. Good, so let's go out, let's jump off real quick and go, we'll go this. Feet wide, yeah, there you go. So I want you to go nice and wide after this next one.
Okay.
And I want you to tuck your pelvis up underneath you first. Yeah. That's where we're gonna start.
Okay.
And so all I'm gonna have you do is just tuck that pelvis up underneath you first. Feel that. It's
Like hips are already starting to.
getting super tight.
Mhm.
So hip flexors, traveling.
Ugh.
Yeah. So that for you to be standing and for them to be that turned on is insane. They should feel it, but you shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, they hurt
You might
like
need to make sure we open up your pelvis before we.
sitting in traffic, like when I'm like on and off the gas, my like hips hurt. Like
We gotta put you on the belt. I'll table them.
it's been like a more recent thing, but
Yeah. Well, it really gets. Relax. Yeah, it really gets worse.
it's starting slow.
Good. We're gonna go back on here. We're gonna start that Jefferson Curl. So we're gonna step on here. So I'm gonna have you slightly bend the knees. We're gonna drop the chin into the chest. We're gonna round the upper back, and you're gonna basically just go all the way down the body and then back up. In that. Try to do it 4 seconds. So I want you to think head, chin down first, and then back. I'm gonna feel like you're punched here. Not punched. Good. And did the glutes get turned on more, or did the back get turned on more here? For you?
Both.
Okay. Pretty lit up.
Pretty lit up.
But but you feel like your core is strong enough to where you kind of like balance it, but you just get forward out.
So I do like the ragdoll a lot on this.
Okay, yeah.
Where
Just
like kind of bringing the gut.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like Jefferson Curl. Because I would love to see more flexion through here.
More.
Yeah.
Chin there.
And
Got
then, so, and if you could,
it. It hurts right now because of the shoulder.
because your shoulder, to go
So
here.
like, so as you go, like,
Okay.
I can't like
Yeah.
put it like that. Whew. But it's always like kind of stiff.
All kinds of beat up in here. Golf will do it to you.
Well, a lot of it.
Yeah, right. So you go to school?
University of Dayton.
Cool.
So that's where I played and.
Gotta jump off there. So, gotta get set up again. You didn't curl on me as well? Too easy. So I'm gonna see how you would just normally turn first.
Okay.
And then we're gonna kind of like dive into that. So I just want you to turn right when you feel comfortable. I like to feel like a supported position. So like I'll do it with a ball.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you just hold here. I'm gonna have you rotate right first. Yep. So do you do what? You do this one a lot? No. I would definitely start doing that more.
Okay.
So just start hitting this one. I like, this one like just helps me warm up my hips. It gets the glutes turned on pretty good, adductors turned on good. Because we're gonna feel in a second, we're gonna get some pressure down through this inner thigh, down to the foot, before you rotate. Because you don't create a ton of tension when you rotate. And so I think we can keep a little more tension. And I think basically what's gonna happen is we can support your pelvis a little bit more. It's gonna help support the back a little bit more, and you're gonna turn a little bit more. But also too, it's gonna be in a supportive position where you don't want to get hurt.
Right.
So just keep. I'm gonna knock these out. Let's do all 6 of them.
I do know where I like push like this,
Yeah.
like this, but never like this.
I'm just kind of like, this is just very general, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to
I like this.
feel it. I'm just trying to get range, and I notice is by the time I get done with it, I almost have full range.
Yeah.
Like even if I start real stiff, my hips are pretty stiff. Like I squatted heavy the day before, whatever. Like I do this, and it just kind of helps me open up my pelvis a little bit. And I'm not scared of full range here, right? Like I can go all the way in, I can come all the way up. And then like some days it's like, wow, one leg's really going out way more than the other.
Sometimes my right leg's going out more.
Yep. And then your arch, kind of where your arch, your ankles are kind of like pronating, coming in and out, where your weight's gonna happen. So I like to, what I do is I kind of I'll put some pressure here.
Okay.
Like you're trying to step in my hand.
On your hand.
You're okay, you're not gonna hurt me.
Okay.
So I want you to put that pressure down into my hand. Yeah, there. So I teach it this way, is this leg, so you watch all the best players ever, this leg's gonna turn in.
Yep.
And they just do it a little bit, and then they rotate to the top of their golf swing. So that's what we're gonna practice first.
Okay.
So this leg's gonna go in, just this one. Yep. And then you're gonna rotate your pelvis and rotate your chest or back to the
So
target.
this would be like dress.
Yep. And then he's gonna be in, and you're gonna rotate towards me.
Okay.
And wait till it's on, and then rotate, big rotate, big rotate, big rotate, big rotate, big rotate, big rotate. Still feel the pressure in the foot?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Those are stable.
And it feels more stable because you are anchoring across yourself. Do it again. And what happens is, the better and stronger this is, the easier this will turn, less damage, all the kind of fun stuff. But also too, is you're going to open this pelvis up even more.
And my leg's not doing those.
Exactly. So your knees are going to stay flat, your pelvis is going to stay flat, better impact to the head.
Yeah.
Which is the best. Yeah, and you're gonna really feel, the better you can feel you anchoring across your body. So we're gonna fix the chest in a second. So hold this like this. Okay, now dig in and then rotate. Okay. Now I'm just gonna give you a little bit and rotate.
We're ready for that.
Yep. Yeah, you can wait for it. And still feel this. I want you to feel like you're pushing in, and it's me a little bit, but feel that?
Yep.
Good. Let's do it again. Yep. Now I want you to keep going back to this. If you have to exaggerate it here, it's totally okay. Push against me. I'm going to push you out. Good. Yep. That'll be good. Yeah, you're good now. Yep. And all that weight's in here, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Inside.
So how does I want you to grab this like, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
And I want you to push against me with this hip. Still keeping that, feeling the hip different?
Yeah.
There's so much torque in this hip if you let it. But if we will resist against this, you can't get that turned on. I got a perfect drill for you to do after this.
Okay.
I'm going to show you up against a wall.
Okay.
You're going to practice this, and then you're going to feel this, you're also going to go up. It's going to be hit 2 pieces, I think, that are important for you. So, but now your chest is just opening up this way instead of you having to force it with your arms.
Yeah.
Before, your arms just kind of came across your chest, and that's what happens with a lot of females.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is the club, not that it gets heavy, It's that you forget that you have to support it with your rib cage, not your shoulders.
Yeah.
So what supports our shoulders, right? Our lats.
Yeah.
So if the lats are engaged and we don't have a good triangle of what's going on here, so many weird things can happen with a golf club. And you watch it every time you watch an amateur, right?
Yeah.
Pros and better golfers just get away with it more often.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go one more. We're gonna hold here. So if you keep that tension in the hip, wait. Then have you go down and impact now. And you should be able to push off that.
Yeah, I was pushing here, not here.
Yeah. Then the upper body doesn't have to come over the top.
Yeah.
Then you can start your downswing a little bit more to the lower body than your upper body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, way more my lower body. Like the
It's,
turn.
yeah. And it's so interesting. Positional power with the golf swing is just so valuable.
Yeah, it's like a lever.
Exactly.
Between the leg and the hip, kind of
And
back and
there's
forth.
golfers have said it so many different ways. I think people get confused because they don't have any feel to like really. But every golf book I've read, there you go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna exaggerate the shit out of this in a second. So you're gonna turn back.
Okay.
I'll have a little wait here for a second. So when you do this, I'm gonna have you go this way. It's gonna feel so weird for you.
Down?
Well, it's gonna be that Jefferson curl. So your stomach's gonna come in, you're gonna squeeze the glutes underneath you, and you're gonna keep your head down. You ready? And now we're gonna go back. Yeah. So that's the only way, there we go. Now you stay down through it, through side bend, right? And
Makes so much sense.
it totally does.
Oh my
It just,
gosh.
it's hard. It's different on this.
Yeah.
I've had to like figure out how to teach this.
This is great.
And it's stay up big. And then you feel the glute turned on, and then you can push off all that, and you can go that way. And then you supported your upper body.
Yeah.
Which is super way better. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Where was this when I was like
I know,
playing
right?
competitively?
Well, I mean, if you were going to teach a kid how to hit the ball super hard, this is how you do it. No matter, it doesn't matter if they're boy or female, it doesn't matter. Yes. Oh, so good. And then you supported your spine through side bend. And when you can do that, your body just opens up to be able to rotate. Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah, it's not like arching the lower back
Exactly.
anymore.
Well, and we're going to go through that in a second. Because we have to go from that flexion back to extension at the end. Okay, so we finished this, but basically what I want is this, okay? So this is the last kind of piece for, at least for golf. We're here through, we went here, flexion, extension, back to flexion. And so what you're going to do is this. You maintain side bend so good here. You're such a great position. Such a great position. That's a great position. And we're going to finish by lifting the rib cage. But you have to squeeze here in your glutes to do that.
Right.
So Ben Hogan said it like really vulgar. He was like basically like you have to squeeze your jump. But right? So like, but you're just using those adductors.
Right.
To squeeze here and then support your upper body with this. So your goal is just to turn. Give me one of them. Oh, I keep doing this in there. It's my fault now.
Yeah, just spin it.
Oh man, I got stuff. It doesn't. Okay, but basically what I want, so get back set up. We'll go through a full. So hold, knees in, you're gonna rotate. Rotate to the top. Now you're a good extension. We're gonna stay through extension down to flexion. Yep. Squeeze the glutes. Okay. That's where all the young people have. And as they get older, they lose it.
Okay.
Okay, so now I want you to feel, you're feeling these together.
Okay.
Okay, so through here, you're gonna squeeze these together and you're just gonna feel like you're holding this ball up. I feel like you're lifting that ball up just a smidge.
Oh, I see, like,
Yeah. Your rib cage and core is going to hold it up, not just your back.
Right. So you're good.
So you have to really squeeze
these
these together.
Okay, so.
It's hard to feel it, but it's not on now.
Whoa. That's
I
why
know.
this is great.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna turn this up real quick.
That's fine.
What was it, like 6?
There's like 60, 50 on the glutes.
I'm literally just gonna turn your legs up because I think like,
Yeah, that's fine.
feel?
Yeah, feel 'em. Perfect.
So literally, and then, so I'm just gonna have you feel that, turn into the hip. Yep. And I can literally feel the tension in the hip.
Yeah.
Right? And then we're gonna go, so extension, now we're gonna go through flexion. And all that's gonna happen in real life is this. And you're gonna
Right.
feel up
Up.
and squeeze your, yeah.
Squeeze the junk.
Squeeze your groin. The coolest other part about this too is now your spine angle, even though your head's trying to do kind of some funny stuff, because you're trying to chase this overload. Yeah. It's so much better. Yeah. So, take it up here. I want to show you. That's so simple though for you, because one, you already have the range. So that's the hardest part about it. It's like to go out and leave all the range. You can't even.
It's hard to even get to that point.
Yeah. Oh, it's the worst. Totally the worst.
So you want to be able to get right into it.
Yeah, right. Well, but like there's, and I mean, we like blew by 20 minutes like that, right? Like it's the friggin' best. But really, if we can get